What's up, people? We are on. We are on. We are on. We're on. My name is Alex Thomas. I'm the host of the Funny Don't Stop show. Um, we're doing this show today with a heavy heart. Um, it was a huge, huge loss for not only Los Angeles, but to the world. Um, we lost a legend, a father, um, a businessman, a role model in Kobe Bean Bryant. Unfortunately, he lost his life in a horrific helicopter accident. Um, like I said, it's a dark cloud over the whole city of Los Angeles this week. And what we're going to try to do today is celebrate the life and times of that man. Um, it hits home big time with somebody like myself because I'm from Los Angeles, and I literally followed this guy's entire career from 17 years old when he first got here out of high school until his 20th year with the Lakers. And he he changed the fabric of this city. This city, obviously, we have a super winning tradition. There was the ones before him, the Magic Johnsons and the Kareem Abdul-Jabbars and the other great players around him like the Shaquille O'Neals. And I mean, it goes on and on, but um, he really meant a lot to this city. You know, it just it's almost like I feel like the California flag is flying half staff this week. Um, Kind of feels good to kind of be off social media right now and open up and be able to vent and around friends and family and just kind of talk about it. It's kind of therapeutic. So with that being said, of course, I have my amazing team that's with me every single week. And in this sad time, we're going to try our best to talk about the good times and all the great memories that we had of, uh, of Kobe Bryant. Before I do that, I just want my condolences also go out to all the other families that lost loved ones in that horrific accident. You know, my heart goes out to the Bryant family because those are the ones we knew. And it was so unfortunate. It hurt so much that his young daughter Gigi was on the helicopter with him. You know, our hearts go out to Vanessa. It's hard because as a father, it hurts even more because his wife and his kids aren't gonna, you're not gonna have a daddy there anymore to lean on, to somebody to console with, somebody that, because it was so much bigger than basketball. Basketball is what started for this man, but he became an amazing dad, a role model to so many of these young, I want to say brothers. It's a worldwide thing, but really the African American community, man, he showed that you can still be cool, but you can still take care of your family and take care of your kids, take care of your responsibilities. And that's what Kobe did. So like I said, my heart goes out to his family, to Vanessa and the other children. And I know there's a lot of people, the Laker organization and people, they're gonna reach out and help her with anything and everything she needs. And you know, there's gonna be people in those kids' lives to, you know, they're gonna have to do their best and stay strong to keep his legacy alive. So we got a lot to talk about today, and I'm gonna try my best to keep it together. Um, to my left right here, another LA guy, super funny guy, you know, and he's here every week. And I'm pretty sure I don't think you ever met Kobe Savvy, but I know that man saw your work, and I know he probably laughed at a lot of stuff you did because he was on social media also. To my left here, we have Savvy Amusing. Savvy, what is this? How you feeling, man? We
Yeah,
got to get to this. We got to get through this together as a team.
yeah, it's tough, man, and I just regret that I never got an opportunity to meet him, man. There were several people who lived throughout my lifetime that I wanted to meet, man. Like Michael Jackson, one, didn't get a chance. Prince didn't get a chance. Tupac didn't get a chance. And when I started doing sports memes, etc., on social media a few years ago, I didn't know that it would impact people the way it did, man. I just started out sitting on my couch doing jokes, and when the sports world took to it and the Lakers took to it, I told myself like, wow, I'm probably real close. Like I'm real close now to meeting Kobe, and the fact that that day just never came is devastating, man. I remember asking you. I used to say, "Hey, Alex, man, you know everybody, man. You know Kobe?" And you say, "Man, I know Kobe, man, but we wasn't. I didn't get a chance to really, kick it with him like that. You know what I'm saying?"
I wasn't as close to Kobe as I
As you
was to
was,
Shaq,
right,
Derek
right,
Fisher, Robert Ory.
right.
I was close. Kobe was always kind of like a standoffish guy.
Yeah,
Even in his early years when he was between 19 and 22, 23, 24,
yeah,
he wasn't the dude going to clubs. He wasn't hanging out at parties.
yeah,
Dude, none of us really realized how focused that dude was.
yeah. Like straight focus, and that's what they mean by that Mamba mentality, man. That dude had a goal to accomplish, being the best player in the world, and that's exactly what he did, and he was focused on that. And the man had just retired and was now focusing on the next chapter in life and being the best individual, being a father, uh, a cartoon creator, a writer, a producer, and just cut short by tragedy, man. And I'm absolutely devastated. I grew up a Kobe Bryant fan, man, and it's just hard, man. It's absolutely hard. Like LA has literally been hit with two nuclear bombs 2 years in a row, man. Nip last year, Kobe this year, man. It's just a lot, man. It's a
Right.
lot to grasp.
Right. Well, we're going to talk a lot today about his life. We talk about, huge moments in his career, stuff that make us happy, stuff that he left us with, stuff we can smile about. We're going to talk about that. Right here to my right, we have another amazing, talented person that brings a smile to our faces every single week. Huge part of the Funny Don't Stop show, Blingin' Betsy Cox. I see you have your Laker yellow on.
I'm trying.
How you feeling? How you feel? I know you're not from LA. I mean, I'm assuming you're not a huge basketball fan, but I know, hey, you live here. You feel it like everybody else. What's your thoughts on this tragedy?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm, of course, not keeping up with basketball, but it's, I don't even know. I haven't even posted about it or anything till today because it's so sad to see someone who did so many amazing things for people. People with disabled kids, the people that this guy helped out and changed their lives, that is where the loss is. It's like there are not many people walking the planet that are doing the things that he did
Absolutely.
for other people and changing lives the way he
Absolutely.
did.
Absolutely.
And I feel like when you lose someone like that, it is an extreme loss to the world, not just LA. It's just
Absolutely. Said Brass, what is your feeling on this situation, man? First of all, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. I always try to find a silver lighting or a silver lining in situations. And, of course, this is a very dark day for the basketball community as well as the LA community as well as the Lakers community. So I understand that, with any loss, we have to figure out how to build from that energy and build positivity and see how can we build as a country, as a nation, as a race, politically, socially, culturally. So I think that these things are all important, and I think that's how it affected me. Although we're dealing with so many different things that's going on in the country today, we always have these moment of pauses to allow us to self-reflect and look back on our lives and look back on the relationships from every aspect that we have in our life. And I think that's pretty much where I come from in a scenario, which is allow me to just like text my friends or text people that I didn't necessarily talk to or had beefs with, reconcile situations that I did not address in certain parts or aspects of my life. I think, sometimes we think, tomorrow will come, the next hour will come, next week, next month, or the next year will come. And so life is so short, so we have to take advantage of, these precious times and hours that we have with loved ones and friends and be able to maximize these relationships. And so I think that's how I took the Kobe death. And so I try to take that same energy and move forward in all aspects of life.
You were actually the first one to let me know, man. People always say, where were you? Where were you when this happened? Where were you when that happened? I said, actually called me at 10 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. And he was like, yo, man, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just sitting here in bed with my kids. And he's like, did you hear about Kobe Bryant? I'm like, what do you mean, did I hear about Kobe Bryant? He said he died. And I was, like anybody else, man, I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, come on.
Yeah,
Really?
he probably thought it was like another one of my little conspiratory
But you're not like that. You're not. You're not negative, and you're not
Right.
mean. And I know you
Yeah.
wouldn't be joking like that. So
Yeah.
that's why it was a huge pause.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He was like, "No, he just died in a helicopter crash." And the first thing, I just pretty much hung up on him. And like 5 minutes later, I just see everything on the news, and that's when it just hit. Like, this is real. It's kind of crazy, you guys. I don't know if I'm crazy to say this, but I almost feel like when Michael Jackson died. It kind of has that feeling about it. It's that huge.
Yeah, it might be bigger. I mean, it's huge. I thought it was the most awesome thing to see so many people go out the entire day and stand out there. I just thought, oh my God, like, look how many people love this guy. Like, how amazing was that?
Yeah.
I feel like if this is not a rallying point for the Lakers this year, I feel like this is why we have to, like, there's no other choice but to win this championship this year. I feel like the leader of our team right now, obviously, is LeBron James. And I think by him being so close to him, being able to explain to these young guys what this guy meant to this team, what this guy meant to this city, how anything and everything else would be a failure this year if we did not win a championship this year for Kobe. And I hope that motivates the team to do so. What is your feeling on that, Savvy? Because you're a big basketball fan and Laker fan also.
I feel like it absolutely should, and it absolutely will, man. I mean, especially with LeBron James being the leader, coming from where he's come from, man. Somebody that went to the Cleveland Cavaliers and was able to, ignite the Cleveland Cavaliers. So somebody on a team like the LA Lakers that already had potential to win a championship, and then we lose the king of the city, and then now it's up to you to carry on that legacy and adopt that Mamba mentality. I feel like if anybody can do it, it's LeBron James to rally this city to a championship, because this city is absolutely hurting right now, man.
Oh yeah, it's
hurting.
beyond hurt. There's like, I hate to even say it. It's crazy as comedians to use the word speechless. When I tell you, it took all my manpower, willpower, and the Lord to even put it together to do this show today.
Yeah.
I think this is the Lord blessing us and able to walk us through this, to be able to sit here and talk this thing out amongst friends. It's therapeutic. Put put it this way. The Laker game was canceled tonight. Why was the game canceled tonight? Because the players weren't up to it emotionally. And the one guy on the team that was the closest was the star of our team right now, LeBron James. And everybody saw, the video when the Lakers, they basically found out on their flight home from Philadelphia. On the plane. They're in the air, and they find out this tragedy. And it's just so crazy and ironic that the night before is when LeBron James breaks Kobe's all-time scoring record. Right. He did a press conference in the locker room, and he literally spoke for 5 minutes. He's like, I could talk for 15 more minutes of how much Kobe Bryant means to me. And the next day, this tragedy happens.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
It's sad, man. Like I say, sometimes I just have questions, man. I don't know. I don't want to get that deep into it, bro. Like religious wise and stuff.
Right.
But I don't know. Sometimes, man, like I just can't figure out, why they got people like fucking George Zimmerman still walking around. Man.
Yeah.
We lose Kobe Bryant with his kid. And other people. I just can't figure it out, man.
Yeah.
Because I can't understand that, bro, for the life of me.
I wish I knew somebody in the front office for the Lakers, because I think the dopest thing they could do would be the game that they play on Friday. I feel like they should play the first half in the number 8 jerseys, since that was the first half of Kobe's life and career.
Right.
And I feel like the second half they should play in the number 24 jersey.
Yeah.
To honor his life, his legacy. I think that would be huge. And I honestly feel like one day they should do the ultimate Jackie Robinson move, where there's one day of the year.
They probably will do that.
The pro baseball, the entire league, everybody wears number 42. Not just,
So go back and let's get some basketball history. So give the viewers some in-depth analysis on what happened with the number 42, why at the 42, why it went to 8. I know you know.
You mean
why.
8 to 24?
8 to 24. Right. So what's the history?
First of all, that was just huge. I just got to say that in front of everybody. He's the first guy in NBA history, in pro sports history, to have 2 jerseys retired. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Did not.
So he's got his number 8. He won some championships. Number 24, he won some championships. One of the reasons he changed from 8 to 24, and we're not talking about anything negative on this show today, he had personal problems kind of like towards the middle of his career, and he wanted to close the door on that chapter. So then when he came back and the smoke cleared, he's like, you know what? Like any human, it's time to turn over a new leaf, become a newer person, become a better person, and boom, he went with number 24. What's crazy is all the guys after him, you could tell the influence that Kobe had over this younger generation, because look, kind of all of them ended up doing it. LeBron James started off at 23. When he went to a new team, only difference between Kobe and LeBron is Kobe was a true warrior that stayed with the same team for 20 years. And that's something I super respect about that man. Mm-hmm. You don't see that anymore. Those days are over.
Yeah.
These guys now jump ship when they lose. They jump ship when it's like, some of the greats of all time never said, well, if you can't beat them, join them. Michael Jordan would have never said that. Larry Bird would have never said that. Right. Magic Johnson would have never said that. Right. I keep going on with a whole lot of pro athletes. This man weathered the storm through the good and the bad, 20 years with one team, and he was rewarded for that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So what was your feeling on that, man? This man played 20 years, dude, with the same team.
I loved it, man. Anybody that shows loyalty like that, and I think that's why the city of LA loves him and adores him so much too, man, because the fact of the matter is, it got bad in LA after a while, bro. Like
It really was
you
bad.
know, when him and Big
We
Shaq-
actually sucked for a little
We
bit.
did, man.
You know?
Him and Big Shaq was going through their thing, and they decided Shaquille O'Neal left. Man, we got so bad, man. I believe that I forget what year that was, but Kobe had talked to Big Boy, I believe, and he was telling Big Boy like, "Look, man, if they can't fix this, I'd like to be traded, you know, because this is bad, man, you know." And the Lakers did something about it, man. They fixed it up, you know, grabbed this Pau Gasol, and after we got Pau Gasol, we was right back where we were supposed to be, you know.
He dealt with a lot of different combinations over the years.
Yeah.
I mean, Shaquille O'Neal, and Raul knows this, because Raul's the one with all the everything. By the way, big shout out to our boy Raul, who's our producer behind the scenes. Got these amazing backdrops this week. We really appreciate that. That's really dope. It's dope with backdrops, right?
Yeah.
In Kobe's name. That was a amazing love-hate, big brother, little brother relationship that they gave to us that we got to see for years. Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant, man. To me, that's the best 1-2 punch in the history of the game.
Yes,
I know Chicago people want to fight me. It was Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen. Hey, man, everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Right.
But these guys, yes, it hurts me that if they did get along, I honestly feel in the bottom of my heart we would have had 8 championships.
Yeah, definitely.
Because Shaq went on and got another one. Kobe went on and got 2 more.
Right.
I felt that could have easily been 8 or 10. It hurts. It is what it is. It's in the past. What was your feeling on that? Said as far as the Shaq and Kobe 1-2 punch and what they brought to the game of basketball.
No, Shaq and Kobe, I think you hit it right where they finally came to some kind of reconciliation. Like, man, we could have won more if we just kind of kept the egos in check on both sides, right? And I know I'm always one to see the silver lining in how art imitates life, and so I think that plays into also how we take an aspect of life. Sometimes what relationship we have, we don't appreciate them till later on, or we have negative responses from it. And so I think that's important to always look in the mirror through sports. I know everybody look at sports in different ways. For me, it's entertainment. For some people, it's like a way of life. Some people are just like fanatical. Some people are fans. So for me, I always kind of look at it and also see how art imitates life. So I think that's the biggest thing I took out of the Kobe, Shaq, what side people take. We can go back and forth on, the hurtful things that, both individuals said.
Yeah.
But I think the end result was they were able to find some type of, reconciliation and be able to go on and do great things without each other just as much as they both did great things with each other.
Yeah.
I saw an interview on NBA basketball, NBA TV, about 2 weeks ago, and it was Shaq and Kobe talking about their lives and their careers together. And Shaq said something interesting. He looked Kobe dead in the face and said, "So, dude, when I got traded, did you want to get another championship by yourself as bad as I wanted to?" And Kobe was like, "Hell yes. Hell yes. I hated you, and I wanted to get one more than you did." And that's kind of what happened.
Right.
Kobe ended up getting 2 more.
Right.
Shaq ended up getting 1 more. But they were being honest as grown men, talking like it's over now. We can talk about these things. You know what I mean? The argument I used to get into for years, Savvy? I mean, dude, one of the biggest arguments in the early 90s. From being a Laker fan to my heart and seeing the potential in this new kid called Kobe, I used to get in arguments. He think he Michael Jordan. He act like Michael Jordan. He shoot like Michael Jordan. He wear his shoes like Michael Jordan. He pumps his fist like Michael Jordan. I was like, I used to always tell people, I used to say, weren't you trying to be somebody at 17, 18?
Facts.
Weren't you trying to emulate somebody at 17 and 18 years old?
Facts.
Guess what? This man was a pro at 17, 18 years old. He came straight out of high school, Lower Merion High School. Jerry West, one of the greatest basketball players of all time. The logo, that logo on my arm. Raul, I don't know if you can get that. real quick, come back to me, whatever. That logo on my arm, that's the NBA logo. It's been the NBA logo for over 50 years now. That's Jerry West. That's how big Jerry West was to pro basketball. But he took a chance on Kobe when he was 17 years old. Where other general managers was like, let the kid grow, let him do 2-3 more years.
Yeah.
Jerry West said, no, I want him now.
Right.
And what's crazy is, for the people that don't know, the rest of the story was, draft day, Charlotte Hornets picked him up. And when they picked him up, he got traded 10 minutes later. They actually have a picture of him wearing, with the Charlotte Hornet
Yeah, I saw
hat.
it. Yeah.
And Jerry West was like, no, let's trade Vlade Divac and get this young kid.
Which was an all-star at the time.
Who was an all-star.
So Charlotte was like, oh, you crazy. Hell yeah, give us Divac.
And we got a gem in that man.
Yeah, we
17
sure
years old.
did.
A lot of people don't remember his history. He sat for 2 years.
Yeah.
Because at that time, it was all about Sid Ceballos, Nick Van Exel,
Yeah.
Eddie Jones, Sid Ceballos, all those kind of guys. But he rode the bench for 2 years. And when they said, this kid's just too good, got rid of all of them, went and got Shaq, and the rest was history.
Right.
And a dynasty became. And then, of course, they went on and got Phil Jackson, greatest coach of all time. He had just left from working with Michael Jordan, and then he found this new kid.
That wrapped it up.
But back to me getting arguments, I used to be like, yeah, dude, weren't you trying to be somebody when you were 18? So guess what? In my heart and mind, this man, Kobe Bryant, ended up pulling off the most incredible impression in basketball history. He pulled off Michael Jordan and embodied him and got 5 rings to prove it.
Right.
Yeah, you could talk all day about, oh, he trying to be high. Well, he really ended up being that dude.
Right.
Yeah.
That's 5 trophies, 5 rings to prove it.
Right. 5 rings to prove it.
That's
5
crazy.
championships.
He looked up to that man. I remember one night Kobe scoring 30 points against Michael Jordan, and he was wearing Michael shoes.
That's outstanding, man. And I know MJ had said at one point, like, I never had anybody that actually asked me, how, you know, that's how you know, man, when you're so eager to learn and be better. You know, if we playing together and I go on the side with you, like, hey, man, how did you just do what you just did?
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's kind of like I do with you, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I'll
I was
be
just
at
about to say that.
Yeah, like,
I was
I'll
about
be
to
at
say
a
that.
and a lot of comedians are too, how can I say, arrogant. And they don't, but man, I always say, Alex, how do you get them to respond to this? Or how do you do that? Because I'm trying to learn, bro. And that's what Kobe used to do to MJ all the time.
He studied him to the way he stood.
Yeah, literally.
The way he held his pants, the way he did the fist pump, that move
Yeah,
right there.
the fadeaway jump shot.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. He found somebody, and then you can't be mad at him and focusing and keeping his eye on the prize.
Right.
And said, I'm going to end up being the greatest dude of all time one day.
Right.
You know what I mean? And obviously, Mike didn't tell him everything he knew.
Yeah, you ain't gonna tell him everything.
But, you know, this man embodied who he was.
Yep.
You know?
Back to the the number thing. I'm into gematria and numerology. I thought we were gonna touch on this when we were talking about the numbers, right? So because I really honestly didn't know why he chose 8 or why he chose 24.
I've heard a lot of different stories. I know a lot about history, but I don't know everything, so I can take you a little bit further back. A lot of people don't know that Kobe Bryant's dad was a star in the NBA.
Of course.
His name was Jelly Bean Bryant. He was number 23. He was in the league before Michael Jordan.
Right.
So how crazy is that? Your dad had number 23, and then the greatest guy of all time ends up wearing 23. But in high school, from what I believe, somebody on Kobe's high school team had 23, so that's why he was number 33 at Lower Merion.
Okay.
But Kobe's favorite player, to be honest with you, coming up as a kid was Magic Johnson. That's who he embodied himself on. That's who he loved. And a lot of people don't know, Kobe was always a Laker fan. So early interviews, Kobe used to talk about, man, not only is it a dream come true to play in the NBA, it's a dream come true to end up playing for the team you loved your whole life. He loved the Lakers more than he loved the 76ers, and his daddy played on the 76ers.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how much he loved Magic Johnson. And Magic took a liking to him also. So he sucked up the game from all these legends, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbars, the Jerry West. He literally had legends in his corner to learn from.
Yeah.
Right.
And he ended up really being that great.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna take it back to when he came out of high school. Do you remember who he went to the prom with?
Yeah, Brandy.
His high school prom date was Brandy. Did you know that, Betsy?
I did not know that.
Yes, there it is. So they were dating. He went to her prom. She went to his prom. That's how you know time really, really flies by. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just brings back memories because I remember that. Remember at that time, she was as hot could be as far as acting and had Moesha, the TV show, and had a hit album. And then this young kid is hooked up with her. So it was like, can you imagine if this was social media was around back then?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Instagram would have been
Crazy.
on fire,
Oh
bro.
my God.
Crazy.
It would have
It would have been lit.
So I had a fact, man. Observation.
Let's bring
So
it.
Kobe's number was 8, right? So of course,
his first number was
first number was 8, right? So of course we know mathematically 4 times 2 is what?
8,
So then he changed his number to
24.
24, which is the 4 times 2 is 8, obviously, right? But what's 2 4s?
2 4s is 8.
8.
And what is 4 2s?
8.
So looking at the numbers, he still came back to keeping his number at 8 with 24, although you see him wearing 24, which is 2 times 4 is 8. He had the 24. 2 of the 4s is 8, and 4 of the 2s is 8.
Ladies and
No
gentlemen,
other number.
Oh shit.
No,
that's why they call him Fact Man.
Yeah.
That's why he's Fact Man.
Wow.
no other numbers can really play like that and can do that.
Like I tell everybody, Santa's the only dude on the planet can tell
my
you why
God.
cheetahs have spots. and where lions and tigers got their
Yeah.
stripes from, I'm telling you.
That is crazy.
Is that not
Yeah.
crazy? Anybody remember, I'm just jumping all over the place. Anybody remember when Kobe had a rap album?
I do.
Oh yeah.
I don't.
You don't remember his rap album? Now, I heard he went double plywood, but that's not the case, because basketball was the reason that we
Yeah.
loved this man.
Right.
But he came up and, like, he was a rookie in, like, 97, 98, and that's when a lot of basketball players were so-called rappers, because at that time, remember Shaq had an album.
Shaq, Iverson.
Ceballos, Allen Iverson had albums, so that was kind of like the thing to do.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I never heard his album, so I can't talk about it. I just heard it wasn't too fire.
Right.
Yeah, I gotta take a little bit of this story or joke from the guy we saw on Sunday at Chocolate Sundays. I thought it was super funny. He was like, black people claim to be Kobe fans, but they weren't really Kobe fans like Mexicans were Kobe fans.
Oh boy, you ain't lying.
And if you want to know why Mexican were bigger Kobe fans than blacks were Kobe fans, because blacks didn't buy the Kobe album, but Mexicans bought the Kobe album.
I bought that shit.
Oh, so you saying like Raul might know all the words
Yeah,
by heart?
to the
It's like
Kobe
number 3
album.
on the B-side? What? He had a song called These Handles? What?
Yeah, and from what I hear, Kobe was on there like bilingual, like saying
Oh, yeah.
Spanish, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So all the Mexicans were
Yeah,
like,
that was
oh,
the Kobe,
I
that was the album cover right there.
yeah.
Kobe Bryant. Oh, yeah, and that's the one thing a lot of people didn't know about this young man. He was universal and international.
Yeah.
Since his dad played in the NBA, but his dad also played in several teams overseas. So Kobe spent time in France, England, Italy, Turkey, all these places by the time he was 14 years old.
And learned the language.
And learned all the language. See, what a lot of people don't know is Kobe broadened the game to overseas. I think if anybody was a huge ambassador of pro basketball, it was this man.
Yeah.
Kobe, every year when a new shoe came out, he would go to China and 30,000 people would show up to watch this dude do layup drills. 30,000.
Yeah.
They would show up to see him do free throws and practice. of course, we know at the end of the day, he's selling shoes.
Yeah.
Right.
And Nike
right.
was huge over there. But
Yeah.
just you look at these pictures, he would do it every year. And what happened was that became the blueprint for
Yeah.
Chris Paul. That became the blueprint for LeBron James, Carmelo, all guys that had signature shoes.
Yeah.
Every summer they had to go to China because China is one of the biggest supporters, obviously, of this sport.
And that opened the
Right.
door for
They
Yao
love the
Ming
shoes
too.
and they make shit over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can
I was
say
saying that opened the door for Yao Ming to come in and like build off of what Kobe built through the Asian demographic.
Exactly. And speaking of Yao Ming, when he was there, obviously it was already a huge sport, but he literally was the face of an entire continent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He literally was the one and only guy. Until the Jeremy Lin guy came along years later, but Yao Ming was kind of like the face of
You ever been to
Chinese
China?
basketball. I have.
Yeah?
I've been to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
I had a ball over there. I actually went to Hong Kong for Manny Pacquiao fight.
You serious? Or you fucking around?
I am dead serious.
You went to the
The
fight?
fight
Yeah.
before Floyd Mayweather.
You was on the plane with Jermaine Jackson on that same
I was
flight.
on the plane with Jermaine Jackson. Meet Jermaine
Now you
Jackson.
playing again,
No, you think
dude.
I'm playing? You know who else was on the plane with me?
You serious?
Jermaine Jackson, Ja Rule,
Here
and,
they go.
and Dave Chappelle.
There they go.
I know you think I'm laughing.
I
I'm
know.
lying.
Yeah.
All of us.
They're all on the plane.
They took care of all of us. They wanted some black
Oh, shit.
celebrities
Yeah.
to come to the fight in Hong Kong, and it was Dave Chappelle, Alex Thomas,
And they
Jermaine
Jackson.
Right.
and Ja Rule, and Tom Joyner. It was a real
That's an odd
funny
mixture.
mix over in Hong Kong, but and that was when Brazy was pregnant with Halo.
Yeah.
So
Betsy,
yeah.
have you ever been to China? You been out the country?
I've been out of the country, not to China.
What countries have you been to?
Oh God, Italy, France, Switzerland. I'm sure I'm forgetting something.
You love
Costa
traveling?
Rica. No, I hate it.
You don't like traveling?
I mean, I'm not a huge. My husband likes to travel.
Oh, okay.
You been out of the country?
Yeah, but I don't think Canada count, right?
I've been to Canada.
That count?
It totally counts.
What did he say?
I said I don't think it counts. I know it's technically out the country.
What?
I said, does Canada count?
Of course, that's out
Okay.
the country. You need
All
a
right.
passport?
Yeah.
Yeah, technically, yeah, but you're still on the
Just because
same.
you haven't been to the moon
Well, why don't you?
doesn't
You don't
mean
like
you
to
didn't
travel?
travel.
Well, I haven't, but now I've got more free time, so now I'm going to
Gonna
be
travel.
getting my more travel on. Yeah. I was supposed to go to Israel with Alex, but
You were
I
supposed to
was
go.
like working super hard and I wasn't able to go. And then of course Mexico too. But I don't know why I don't count technically not traveling off the landmass. Yes, based on man-made borders, yes, I've been out the country, but to like go off the continent of North America, I haven't been off the continent.
Let's get on to this next subject I want to talk to y'all about.
Shoes.
And that is the Mamba.
Oh no.
Let me tell you, rest in peace, Kobe. I'm wearing them right now, brother.
The Mamba.
It's amazing. Did you rock any of his kicks ever?
I did, man. I did. I actually had those.
Did you? Dude, when I tell you, I probably bought these the year they came out. And it's still one of my favorite shoes.
Yeah,
it's clean. It was different. I was a Jordan fan. I bought a lot of Jordans over the years too.
Yeah.
But what's crazy is how many guys in the league right now are wearing his shoes.
Oh, really?
So in the last
That's
2
awesome.
days, obviously, since the tragedy, there's been, 15, 20 NBA games. Like the entire league is wearing his shoes.
Right.
But what's crazy is all the young superstars in the league, they're already wearing his shoes.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis, star of the Lakers.
Yeah.
That's all he wears. DeMar DeRozan, that's all he wears. Jason Tatum, that's all they
Oh,
wear.
I love those.
I remember
wanted
those. I had a
so
pair
bad,
of those.
I never could get them.
I had the all red version
Yep,
of
I
those.
could never get those. I wanted them so bad, man.
People don't realize how huge Kobe's shoes were. Now those was the only defect in the ugliest shit I ever saw in my life. Kobe, rest in
one of the
peace.
early ones, right?
Kobe, rest in peace. But I always joked with him about these because his first ones were those in silver.
Oh, God.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Adidas that year that Kobe got that shoe, they collaborated with the Audi car architects. What's a person that designs cars? Car designers. Whoever designed the 1997-98 Audi,
Wow.
They collaborated with Adidas.
Yeah.
They wanted the shoe to look
I
like
didn't
a
know that.
sports
It
car.
does. It looks
Yeah.
like
And
a
that
spaceship
shit
car.
backfired like a motherfucker. But I'm so happy when Kobe left Adidas to go to Nike.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. The Crazy 8, everybody that's watching me right now, I still got a pair of Crazy 8s also. Those are the only Adidas, because I'm a sneakerhead and everybody, there they are. I got a cold army green pair of those. Those are the only ones that were okay. But I was happy when he went to Nike. And when he went to Nike, it was just over, man. Look at this
Them
week,
Nikes,
everybody.
they couldn't be
Awesome.
touched. They was, man, it was dope.
This week, everybody's, writing different messages on their shoes and talking about the Mamba mentality. And,
The NBA players are the only ones that really got access to them right now. Huh?
Right.
We can't get them.
Well, no, they're going to sell, and, unfortunately, it's kind of like in the rap game. When people
At a
die.
premium.
Yeah, you can't.
Rest
yeah.
in peace, Nipsey Hussle. Once he died, he sold, I think, 6-7 million albums.
Yeah, that's the way it
That's
is.
just kind of how it goes. And I think
That makes
his
me
legacy,
sad.
I know, his legacy will live forever. People will always wear the jerseys. People going to always wear the shoes, especially if you're an LA guy and it's really more meaningful to us. But like we say, Kobe was a global.
So are you still
superstar.
gonna wear those, or are you gonna now like enshrine those?
Oh, absolutely. I'm wearing these.
Are you're not gonna enshrine them and
No, I got.
these are like a legacy for
No,
your
no.
kids and
No, I think what I will do though, since you know me, I'm a sneakerhead. I got a couple thousand pair of shoes, but the Kobe's are the ones that I'm not gonna give away to Goodwill or people in need. Over the years, I've always done that. I've given my shoes every 4 or 5 years. I'll go give hundreds of pair to homeless people or people in need, or Goodwill or family members.
Yeah.
But these, when I'm done, I will put them. They'll be in the man cave, in a dope ass frame or something. It'll be a conversation piece.
Right.
Along with the Kobe actually gave me his Lower Merion High School jersey. I have that at the house.
Oh snap!
He gave it to me at one of Shaq's New Year's Eve parties, and I have it at the house. And I got the white version of that.
So you wasn't the one that broke into school and stole it?
You heard about that?
I sure fuck did.
Man, tell the people that don't know about that. Talk about it. And people would do crazy
That was
shit.
about a couple of years ago, huh? Some bandits broke into the school.
Vandals.
They got it on tape too, man. They broke the glass. They were pulling all of the trophies and all the stuff out the glass, and they got the jersey, put everything in the bag, and took off out the school, man. Stole it straight from the
crazy.
school.
Yeah. I think it was the year he
A couple of years ago,
retired.
right? Yeah.
The year he retired.
Yeah.
Some vandals went
I
in
was
there.
like, wow, I can't believe these people, man. That's crazy.
Man, not to divert, man. My building got broken into on New Year's Day,
Wow.
and we had the vandals on camera. It's just crazy how bold the world is today.
Oh, they don't give a damn.
And you can see a guy and his girl. I don't cuss much, but
A guy and a girl together.
Together.
Stealing, breaking into places.
stealing, breaking into the building. And I'm sitting here looking like, who got they bitch out on New Year's Day?
What we doing tonight, baby? You know we gonna hit that 2-bedroom over there on Wilshire. That's how much I love you.
Yes, excuse my language,
When
but
did you guys
it just
meet?
don't have
that
as
day
much
we broke in
sauce.
that apartment building in Santa
That's
Monica.
what they
Remember that?
doing now, though.
At 4 a.m. 4 a.m.
Really?
Yeah, 4 in the morning. So the new year just came in.
Whoa. New Year's
Day.
Eve.
New Year's Day.
They were getting
You mean
money
like
for.
that night when everybody parties and
Yeah.
says Happy
No.
New Year? 3 hours later.
When you chilling.
3 hours later. 3
While
hours
it was
later.
still dark.
While it was still
So
dark.
like they were coming home from a New Year's party.
I don't know. 4 a.m. He hops the gate, opens the door for her, and they just walk through the complex. They didn't get anything. They were looking at the doors and all of that, and then the
They
way.
look like drug addicts said.
Nah, man. Nah, she had Uggs on. He had a fresh hat, brim
Dude,
on,
Can I just ask
with a
you, I
hoodie.
hate to, but I gotta ask.
What ethnicity?
Were they black?
No, they were Latino. Yes.
No, I'm just playing.
Yeah.
I'm just playing. No.
But you could tell they knew the building because they was
Yeah.
trying to like dodge the cameras. But we had some new.
Did they have hoodies on? Like, could you see
He-
the face?
She had a hoodie on with like a little fur. but you can still
Oh, she was trying to be a cute little sexy burglar.
Yeah, so she
had
had-
Instagram thief
sexy
and shit.
burglar.
That bitch was taking pictures as she's stealing shit. Just got a VCR. bitch.
You know what? I'm going to
was-
use our platform for greater good. Next week we're going to break it down, but I'm going to bring the still images from the video.
No, you should, because
showing
fuck
that.
them. I hate that
Yeah.
feeling,
Yeah.
because people like that violate other people's shit.
Yeah.
It's not cool at all. That recently happened. I told you about what happened in my house. We were victims of the fucking, what do they call it?
Identity
pirate.
theft.
No, they're called porch pirates.
Yeah.
Oh, stealing your Amazon package.
Stealing my
that's
Amazon,
all
took a FedEx, took a check,
Right.
you know what I mean?
So that's what they took.
Yeah.
So that's what these people
Yeah,
took, because
it's
our mail,
assholes out there
our
like
mail
that.
was in a shared area to FedEx. So
Yeah.
our regular mail is locked up.
Yeah.
But we have like a bin that everybody's FedEx and Amazon packages. Of course, people got late Christmas gifts and stuff like that in there. So you can see them.
Did you see any facial anything so we can help put them
Yeah,
on?
we got
'Cause you
their
never
face.
know who's watching.
Yeah.
Somebody may be like, oh my God, that's
my
Edgar.
girl.
That's Edgar and Martha.
Yeah.
That's Edgar and Martha.
Yeah,
That's
you
my
got, we
girl.
got their
She
face.
bought me a New Year's shirt.
Right. So that's where I got the flat screen and the bicycle.
Yeah. Yep.
Their apartment.
Has
She
some
was making money
Converse.
for those New Year's sales.
Right.
She was like, I gotta
Yeah.
get some
Right.
gas.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it has some
75% off.
Converse Amazon to the house, and you can see them picking up the. And I'm
Now,
looking.
now here's the crazy part.
Look-
I'm a little confused. They did not get into your place.
Yeah, no, that came a couple days ago. I'm not even on that story.
What?
This story I'm talking about is just a New Year's Day.
So
building.
you're not telling me this is two different
I have had
instances.
2 theft break-in incidents
In the
in the
same
month of
place, dude.
January.
Somebody
Oh, it
broke
was time to
into
get the
your
fuck out of there.
apartment.
In the month of January.
Somebody broke into.
And to the house. I'm not even tell that story today, but that was 2 days ago.
Oh.
But you've moved since then. You're not in the same place. You're not going to stay in a place where.
Man, I'm in the same place, but unfortunately, I'm like, it's like I had ADT come out and said, give me
Yeah,
the platinum
everything.
package. So you can't even blow on my doorknob.
Oh, we got Ring. We got. You know, the other thing is Ring.
Yeah.
Like right now, if a loud motorcycle goes by the front of my house, I'll get that alert right now.
I think ADT is.
I
I
had the
mean, you
full-
should sign up for it. The other
Yeah,
night,
Ring is
yeah.
cool. I got all the Ring, but then I got the whole ADT
Yeah.
on everything
you
that
call
Ring
them
don't
and you're like,
have.
I'm at my front door. It looks like a light's on in the house. They're like, we'll be there in 10 minutes.
Yeah, and so what you don't know about ADT too is ADT is its own like task force,
Yeah.
its own police force.
Yeah.
So they got a ADT cars
Oh, okay.
that patrol
Yeah,
cars.
come up to
So
you.
when your alarm go off, yeah, it's cool. I can see it on my phone with Ring, but I got to call 911 and have them come out.
Yeah.
So because I'm in like a high, influent area, I'm not gonna say what area.
Yeah, right.
They already have patrolling ADT cars, so the ADT police officers could get there
That's good.
before
That's
the police
good.
car, and the services especially for like women, because you had a service. If you just feeling in danger, you can call the ADT guy, can walk you into the house,
Right.
or any other thing. So it's
they
basically
have a
having
gun?
your own personal
They
security
have
guard.
guns.
Yeah, they have
I
guns.
have them
That's
walk
good.
me in the house probably 6 nights a month.
Yeah, you can.
It's
can walk you in your
a
house.
part of your package. You
Part of your
already pay for it, right?
You pay for you
Yeah,
pay
it's
them
You got
yearly
the
payment.
AK-47 package.
And I tell you what, when I had a lot of issues where I felt like unsafe because of,
Yeah, if you feel
an
unsafe.
incident in my neighborhood happened to me. And then I just had them walk me in. And like the other night, I was walking to my door and the bushes were shaking so loud. I thought someone was jumping out at me.
Wow.
I was like, ah! I
Really?
ran in my car, called ADT, but I have raccoons.
And the guy could come out.
And the raccoon jumped on the wall. 10 minutes later, it was like, meh, 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 meh. And I was like, oh, you
That's
little
funny.
shithead.
Yeah, so it's kind of like having your own little task force
No,
that
no,
you
exactly.
can kind
That
of
makes
like,
sense. That makes
instead
sense.
of calling 911, of course,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
won't
yeah.
do that type of stuff, but it's good for like women and kids.
I didn't
like,
know they had
yeah,
this kind of
60 bucks.
protection in the world.
Man, 60 bucks,
You
man.
pay for it.
60 bucks. It's worth.
60 bucks ain't
Yeah,
bad, though, Alex.
To help to tell somebody to come out with a gun.
It's worth that 60 bucks,
That's worth
and they have a glass break too. They got glass break sensors
Yeah.
where Ring doesn't have that.
Right.
So if somebody breaks your glass, ADT got that shit locked up, and all the way to the point of it's not just a sensor on the glass, but it can detect any glass breaking sound. So even if you drop a wine glass in your kitchen, it can hear that, and the alarm will go off even if you got it. I'm telling you, dude.
It's amazing.
You can't
that
damn near sneeze now, dude.
Let me just
Them
let y'all
motherfuckers-
know
Too
something.
loud. The glass
I'm just-
commercial out.
yeah.
This is a
ADT,
Yeah,
all the
I'm
places.
just waiting for like the AI to come out to where it'll know what you thinking. Like on our Instagram, how we having a conversation, and this shit shows up in your Instagram. I'm just waiting for them to say, "Hey, we know people that's talking about burglary."
right,
Like we're
exactly.
so in depth.
Exactly.
So literally, Betsy can leak. Like you can. Is there? What I'm asking is there a certain radius for this? Like let's say for example,
No, it really is
you,
everywhere.
If you
It's
piss
everywhere.
somebody off at a comedy club and then
Oh,
get
no,
your-
no,
no,
it's
no,
a-
no.
I'm like, hey, I feel endangered.
Listen, I'm in Hollywood. I have a service in the West Side.
Yeah.
Get y'all's asses over here.
I'm using them motherfuckers all the time, man.
Yeah.
Listen, y'all.
You know the ADT, somebody stole some weed out your back.
Yeah, ADT, I'm back in New Orleans this week, and let me tell you something's going down.
So you gotta be in a certain radius to
Right.
your house.
Right.
Right? Okay.
But let me just say this one thing about ADT. Just keep in mind, the BTK killer works for ADT. That's how he killed so many people. He worked
But
and
that's
set up
scary.
the codes and the
That's
alarm
scary.
radius. So you always got to be careful. Nobody has my code.
Right.
Not even ADT. I set it up with the turn around. Thank you. Because anybody, anyway.
That's true.
Let's get back on to Kobe Bryant. Do you remember that night he scored 81 points?
Yes, sir.
Was that not one of the most amazing things you
I
ever
thought he
seen?
was gonna go for 100, man.
Dude, do you know how mad I am
wanted
to
him
this
to get
day?
100 so bad, and the haters, because I had a lot of Laker haters and Kobe hater fans. So one of my boys gonna text me talking about, oh yeah, well, why Phil take him out? Why he didn't go for breaking
know.
Chamberlain's record?
know.
You know, you just couldn't do no right to these haters, man.
I couldn't believe it. If I see Phil Jackson to this day, I'm gonna be like, why the hell did you let this man sit out
Yeah,
the
like,
entire
why? He was
fourth
killing
quarter?
them.
He scored 81 points in 3 quarters. First of all, that's the second most in the history of pro basketball. And, dude, I know for a fact, if that man had played one more quarter,
Oh yeah.
he would have
Easy.
broke the record, and that just crushed me. And I know, shout out to Jalen Rose, I love you, bro, but I know you still see Kobe in your dreams and your nightmares because he was
Oh, he
up
definitely
close
do.
and personal.
He definitely
and
do.
He gave just 81 reasons not to like that dude.
That's why the commercial makes me laugh
That
so much.
commercial was
it's
so
funny, man.
Hilarious.
Yeah, that's one of the most funniest
and
commercials.
Jalen was such a good sport to go along with that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Betsy, when I tell you it's one of the funniest commercials,
It's hilarious.
Jalen just walks in to a restaurant, right? And Kobe just happens to be sitting at a table by himself. And the waitress comes over and she's like, you know, would you like a drink? Kobe goes, yes. I like a dirty martini. And the guy, and Jalen's looking, he goes, how many olives would you like in that? And Kobe goes, 81.
And then they just awkwardly stare at each other
Dude.
for like two
They
minutes.
stared at each other
Who
for like
was the commercial for?
the commercial. I don't even know.
Was it a
what
Nike? It wasn't Nike.
I don't know if
was
it's a Nike commercial, but it was just playing
smart,
off
yeah.
of Jalen was
was
guarding
so
him that
funny,
historic
man.
night. And even though they're both retired, he's not going to ever let him live it down. So he just kind of looking at him. He's like, yeah, like literally the waitress is asking about the drink, but he didn't even look at the waitress. He just looked
He's
at
looking dead
dead
at
at
Jalen.
How many olives? 81.
81. And they're just staring at each other with this
No,
awkward.
but you forgot the end. You forgot the end. After they stared, Kobe went, I'm just playing. How you doing, Jalen? You good? Like,
Yeah.
I just want to fuck with you. You know what I mean?
because and the funny part at the beginning of the commercial, because Jalen's walking in, and Kobe calls him Jalen, and then Jalen, the camera's facing his face. He says, "Shit, hey Kobe, how you doing, man?" He's nothing, you know.
He's like, come on over. Like,
on,
dude,
just
I
hang
don't
out.
want to sit at your table.
He didn't
So
wanna-
you can just
he didn't wanna go
embarrass
over
me.
there, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Because he knew he was gonna bring it up,
Right.
You know.
Now, you know another thing that showed how tough Kobe Bean Bryant was? This dude played hurt so much. A lot of people don't understand how tough he was, how many injuries he I mean, there's a picture in there, Raul, where it shows not bulk heavy, but he damn near injured something in 20 years on his entire body. I'm talking from a knee to an ankle to a shoulder to a severed finger
Yeah.
to
Wow.
poked in the eye to like dude, the dude was tough as nails.
Yeah.
Until obviously the Achilles was just
Yeah.
the ultimate, and there's just nothing you could do
Yeah,
about
ain't no
that.
beating that one.
You remember that?
Oh, definitely, man. I was crying.
Ooh.
I thought he was done forever.
Alex, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex got the surgery.
Damn,
and
I mean,
the outpatient when he walked into the
Trying
hospital.
to kill us.
When he came out.
Put it this way, just so you know, Betsy, that kind of injury usually ends 97% of all pro athletes' careers.
yeah,
Yeah.
it ends.
Like whether you're football, basketball, whatever, a kid, that's like one of the worst injuries you can get.
for
Yeah.
dogs too. I'm not
Dogs, I
kidding.
know.
Yeah.
Dogs
What
get
is it?
Achilles
Is it the
injuries.
same thing? I think so. They have something
It's
in their leg.
basically the cartilage that keeps your leg connected to your ankle. So if you just chop that, your ankle would just dangle.
Yeah.
And that's what happened that
That's
day.
so sad.
And to show how tough he was, and I know Savvy remembers this like the back of his
Yes,
head.
sir.
Not only did he rip it and tear it,
Yeah.
hear it pop, and know it was over,
Oh, I
the
can't-
man still stood there to shoot 2 free throws and made both of them.
Right.
And then said, now take me out.
And I can still remember that interview afterwards, man, because like you said, the dude was so damn tough. And he had tears in his eyes when they were interviewing him. And they was like, oh, yeah, Kobe, do you think you can come back from this? And he said, man, I can't even walk. He said, but I'm upset right now because I could just hear it. I could just hear it now. I could hear the haters. I could hear the people talking. He's done. He's done. He's done. So the man, he just had such a drive, man.
Yeah.
Wasn't no load management days when it came to Kobe Bryant, man. Like, if that dude was able to breathe and walk, he was going to play.
And anybody that knows him, that knows his training regimen, he was notorious for his training. Put it this way, when Ron Artest, a.k.a. World Peace, left Houston and came to L.A., the team, the owners, everybody was like, look, we know what your kind of history is in the past and being like a hothead and this and that. The only way you're going to work out here and be successful here is if you get with Kobe and train like that man trains. And basically, Kobe took him under his wing. Ron Artest was not thinking of like, dude, so how do you be great? He's like, well, I'm up every morning at 5 o'clock in the morning, regardless.
Wow.
Right.
And Ron Artest said, why are you up at 5 o'clock in the morning? Because I know the dudes that we're playing ain't getting up to 8.
Right.
Because the early
I'ma
bird
outwork
gets the worm. That's
the early
why.
bird gets the worm. I'm going to outwork them. That ends up being the year that they won a world championship.
Yep.
And Ron Artest thanked him so much. Like, this man changed my life. We're damn near the same age.
Yep.
Yeah.
But remember, Kobe's coming from a winning superstar championship background. Ron Artest at that time had no idea what that feeling was like.
Yeah.
So he comes out to him, and Ron had one of his best years ever.
Yep.
He figured out how to be a role player, how to be a part of this team.
Yep.
And man, he was the best he
Because
ever
I
was.
didn't think it was going to work, honestly. I didn't think it was going to work with Ron Artest because I knew his history. And we had just lost Trevor Ariza.
Yeah.
And when
Remember
they
that?
got Ron Artest, I'm like, you replaced Trevor Ariza with Artest? With these two, because him and Kobe would kind of butt heads a little bit when he was with the Rockets.
With the Rockets?
Yeah. But
because he was always the dude assigned to guard
he was the Patrick Beverly
He was
of
the
that
Patrick
time.
Beverly of any
Yeah.
team
Yeah.
that Ron
He was
Artest
the
would play
dog.
on.
Yeah,
he was the
like
dog.
Pistons, whatever,
Yeah.
they would sick him on him.
Right.
And so for a dude that kind of hated his guts to end up being not only best friends, but a mentor,
Yeah.
and then the only ring you end up getting in your career because of that, man, hey, man, Ron Artest, you need to speak at that funeral also.
Yeah,
Quick
man.
fact check. So
Yeah.
we were talking about Achilles heel. Y'all know where that comes from or why they call it the Achilles
I
heel?
do.
I don't.
Because
Go
we mentioned, I think, on last show of how I was into Greek mythology.
There we go. All
Really?
right,
And
savvy.
you told-
Okay.
You told me, well, this has nothing to do with Greek mythology, but I like Greek mythology too. No, but correct me if I'm wrong because you're the fact man. But during the Trojan War, the great warrior Achilles was the most powerful warrior in Greece, and when they were storming the city of Troy, the only way they were able to take him down is they shot him in his Achilles with a bow and arrow. And so that's why that limb is called the Achilles tendon, from where he was shot by a Trojan. Am I correct?
That is very good. That is
my
very
God.
good.
Savvy,
Yeah.
fact man of
incredible.
music.
Yeah. Yeah, so a little bit more depth to it. So Achilles was impervious to any type of harm. You can shoot him with arrow, bullet, whatever. He couldn't be harmed in any type of way.
Right.
Like Superman.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Yes. So
Yeah.
his mom was a Greek god, and so when he was a baby, she dipped him in the immortal waters. When she dipped him in the immortal waters, she held him by that tendon, by the heel of his foot, and dipped him in the immortal waters. So that's why that was the only place that he could be shot at or killed.
That's why that's the vulnerable spot.
That was why he was his vulnerable spot,
Yeah.
because when his mother held him as a baby by his heel, she dipped him in the immortal
Yeah.
waters and pulled him out. So anywhere else he can get touched, but that part of his body didn't touch the immortal waters. So that's just a look. But your story,
Interesting.
spot on, spot on.
Yeah,
That
man.
is so interesting.
I love Greek mythology.
I
man.
got something else to say now, just to bring this up, man. How many people remember that night that this man scored 60 points in his last game?
Oh yeah.
His last game, 20 years, you guys.
That was crazy.
Yeah. And
Do you
they
know
did it again
do you know
yesterday.
that there are guys out there on their best day, in the best shape, in the prime of their lives, all-stars that have never got 60 points in a game?
Oh, absolutely.
And this man, after tons of surgeries, going out, he went out with a bang. Do you remember that?
Oh, absolutely, man. Like it was yesterday. Again, cry when that happened. And it also shows you, because I was always one of them guys like, oh man, Kobe, man, come back, man. We got LeBron now. We got AD, man. Just one more season. But that
That
goes
would've
to
been
show
awesome.
you, if that man scored 60 on his retirement night, he didn't retire because he couldn't do it anymore. He retired because, okay,
I'm done.
I'm finished. I'm at peace with my career. I'm going off to be a family man and start my next chapter. I'm not coming back. Guys, this is it. Mamba out. You know, and that's why I love that so much, man, because it wasn't that he couldn't do it. He was done.
Yeah.
He was finished.
I mean, and your body talks to you. You always hear pro athletes go, you know, you don't want to be that dude that we're all feeling bad for you.
Yeah.
And you're 71 years old and you're going up and down the court on a stroller.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I feel like
you don't have
Michael
it
Jordan
anymore.
played for a long. How old was
He
Michael
was
Jordan?
in his mid-40s, wasn't he?
Yeah,
He was
and
in his mid-40s.
He didn't want to give it
killing
up.
Believe it or not, he played. Michael Jordan played 15 years, and he
Yeah.
actually did score 50 points in a game
Yeah.
in his final years, which means he still had it. He's still good, but you know what I mean? It was just time.
What's average for like
The average NBA,
Yeah,
12 years.
12. Okay, so most people.
So
rate
over
it-
12 is
You-
super successful, whatever the hell you did.
Yeah.
You did, and 20 is unheard of.
Yeah.
Magic didn't play. We can name the greatest players in the league ever. You throw out a name, I can tell you how long he played.
Yeah.
They didn't play close to 20 years.
Right.
So
How
also,
long did Magic play?
Magic played 13 years.
Okay.
Yeah, and he had the sauce. He had the juice too, and you know, so it was a little kind of unceremoniously how he went.
Yeah,
out,
he was
but-
kind of forced out the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
You
pushed
know what
out.
I mean? But you know, it was an ode and a big ups to Kobe for staying in shape to play at the highest level
Yeah.
for 20
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
I don't care what you do, what sport you play, what your job is,
Right.
to stay relevant, in shape, and ready to go 20 years in anything.
Right.
That's a big salute.
You know what? You know what Kobe called his workout method? The 666 method.
For real?
Are you for real?
Yeah, he worked out for 6 hours. He worked out for 6 days a week. Rest on one day, but he worked out for 6 days a week, and he worked out only 6 months out the year.
I know a lot of people do
Look
that
that
too.
up.
By the way, they work out 6 months and they take 6 months off, and they say their body looks better in the 6 months that they take off because they actually can see all the definition.
Wow.
Isn't that incredible?
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's incredible the number combination.
A lot of people don't realize, I know, right? A lot of people don't realize that Kobe was also an 18-time All-Star in 20 years, you guys. People can't say that. You know what I mean? He was an Olympic winner.
Yeah, gold
you know,
medalist.
won gold medals. You know, can you imagine Kobe's trophy case, you guys?
Yeah.
The accomplishments that this man, I mean, it just hurts me as just a real LA dude, man. I know I said it earlier. I wish that him and Shaq had worked out because that 5 could have easily been 8, man.
Easy.
That 5 could have easily
We would
been
have been
8.
on top of Boston by a couple at least.
Oh yeah. And the thing that kind of makes me the saddest, you guys, but I kind of say this with a smile in my face because it's gonna happen regardless, is that this dude wasn't here to get that statue, man.
Yeah.
That was the next big thing. The statue, and of course, a shoe-in the Hall of Fame.
Right. I hate
They're
that.
both gonna happen, and it's gonna be a sad day, but a beautiful day. And it's gonna be his wife Vanessa and the remaining children.
How is the voting process? Is that like voted amongst your peers?
I'm not quite sure. I can't lie. I don't know if it's the people, the peers, or the committee. That's why I wish we had a phone line right now and somebody could let us know who votes. But you got to understand.
Hit us on the
somebody
chat
like Coach
thread.
is
Anybody hit us on the chat thread too. We checking y'all out on YouTube as well. So.
In fact, tell them real quick how they can check us out on YouTube.
Check us out. If you're not on our platform and you're watching on our perspective Instagram or checking us out on our Facebook page, you can check us out on youtube.com/The Funny Don't Stop Show. And like I was saying earlier, we're watching all of the comments and everything. So yeah, if anybody knows what's the election or voting process to be inducted into the NBA Hall of Fame, let us know. Because I was interested to know, based like football, we know that with football, it's this big thing about do you unanimously get in or one vote didn't get you in. I think, Jerry Rice, I could be mistaken. He's the only person that was like one vote from unanimously getting in. So I was wondering if maybe Kobe, because of the circumstances, where he unanimously probably
guaranteed already.
Yeah, it's
He's guaranteed already?
Yeah.
They took basically the votes off, so he can't vote against them. So they automatically put him in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he'll be in
Right,
regardless.
it's almost
now.
like he's exempt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow, okay.
And what's so crazy, man, is unfortunate. There's so many superstars that were before him that are in there now, and they like take the Jerry West, the Magic Johnsons, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbars, the guys that were 40 years older than this man.
Right.
And he passes away first.
Yeah.
It's still hard for me to believe this, man. You know, it's crazy because bringing up helicopters is just kind of ironic, and it's unfortunate how he lost his life in a helicopter, but people don't know how gangster that was. He had his own helicopter 15 years ago. The dude lived in Newport Beach, okay? Anybody that knows LA, if you were to drive to Newport Beach to downtown LA with no traffic, that's damn near an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Right?
At least.
This man the Staples Center was in crowded ass traffic capital downtown LA. It's kind of like everybody else, you either better get a spot close there or leave 2.5, 3 hours early. This dude had the helicopter with the Nike logo on the side, his Mamba logo, and he was just living that life, man. He did that actually on a day, like for example, there's 82 games in a year. They play 41 home games. That was how that man got to work every day.
Yeah.
That's how he got to and from work so he can get back to get to, his kids' practices and be with the family. But, when you're a superstar, you were able to do that, man. It just kind of upset me, and it was hurt. They won't find out the details. They said 12 to 8 months. The pilot had 22 years of experience. Yeah. He was
like a master
Wasn't it?
flight pilot for that brand of plane too. The makers made sure.
CR7 Sikorsky or
It was
something
like
like
weather,
that.
I thought it really had something to do with the weather because they were flying so low.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But even like when they had some bikers and some witnesses that were out there that early in the morning. I play a lot of golf in that area. Thousand Oaks, my country club's out there, Malibu Country Club, and sometimes we can't even tee off before 11 because it is that thick. Like you can't see a person 5 feet in front of you, and we're on the ground. And they said they were as low as 1,000 feet.
Oh, wow.
Then it got down to like 300 feet. So you know what I mean? Visibility had to be little to none. But we'll find out.
When visibility is bad, do you descend or you
you go up.
Oh, you go when visibility
You go
is
up
bad,
in
you go
airplanes,
higher.
but I don't know if it's the same with
Is it
helicopters.
the same with helicopters?
They were trying to
Go
get
above the
They were
clouds.
trying to get him to go up, but he was already too low.
Yeah, because that's what I think the dispatch was saying. Hey, you guys are too low. Yeah, something to that nature. They say you were flying too low, and I don't know if something was already going wrong when the witness saw it, but he said it sounded like a helicopter, but it sounded like he was much too low, from what witnesses say. You know.
I thought
Yeah.
there was a reason he was flying low though, because he couldn't see or.
He probably couldn't see. Because they said that even all police helicopters in that area were advised to land and not fly that day.
Yeah.
Oh, well, at the time, not daytime.
Yeah. Shout out to Vibe Free TV. This our temporary studio. They've been nothing but first class all the way while we are switching studios to our new studio that'll be over in Dash Radio. Savvy, I got a question for you, man.
Word.
You know, not to put you on the spot or anything like that, but when they say the greatest of all time in pro basketball, usually, you know, the younger generation, the three that they say,
Yeah.
Kobe, Jordan, LeBron.
Right.
What is your feeling? What is your order? And your thoughts on that label?
No.
Yeah.
It's a very tough one, brother.
It's tough,
You don't want to
but-
disrespect people, but,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, I'm not trying to disrespect.
everybody's entitled to their
Yeah,
opinion.
because I've always felt this way, man. You're gonna, if we were looking at that cube that Raul just had up
Can
there.
you put that back?
Yeah.
Oh, please, thank you, Ro.
Yeah, I would take MJ, and
What's
I
your
would,
order?
and I would put
Say
him.
your order out loud.
I would put MJ in LeBron's spot. I would put Kobe in Jordan's spot, and I will remove LeBron James to Kobe's spot. I've always felt
So
that
first,
way.
second, third.
Yeah, I've always felt that Kobe was a snap tweak away from being as good as Michael Jordan, but he didn't quite get there.
Explain.
Well, we want to talk about the championships for one. We want to talk about.
I feel like that's the only thing that separates them.
Well, that's one thing.
6 and 5.
And then we have to talk about how Michael Jordan never lost one when he went to an NBA Finals. He won all of them. You know, we got there before and we even got bounced a couple of times. So when you use those two scenarios, that is the only edge that I give Michael Jordan over Kobe.
Say it.
Man, that's a tough one, man. But I think I'm going to have to agree with Savvy. My assessment is right on. I got Jordan 1, Kobe 2, and LeBron 3. Probably for very similar reasons. Again, for me, I'm a more character person, and I think that Jordan played with a team environment. We lived in an era where, you know, you didn't take max deals and you took less in order for the team to get better people around them, as well as being able to make other people around him better and play well with others on his team. Of course, he did have beefs with certain individuals on the team, but I think it was a more of a he managed the psychological aspect of the game, and they both had Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
So we got an even partner, right? And so I think that Jordan managed the psychological aspect of the game and how to merge with others. If we were talking like Tiger Woods and his individual sport, I might have Kobe up there a little bit more.
Yeah.
But the fact that basketball is a team sport, I feel like Jordan was a better team player in that aspect than Kobe was. And I probably would say that I feel like the amount of talent that Michael Jordan played with was less than the talent that Kobe played with. Kobe played with more talent. I think that LeBron James has played with the most talent.
Yeah.
And done the least. And I think that Kobe played with a little bit less of a talent than LeBron James. But I think Michael Jordan, with the exception of Scottie Pippen, if you want to throw Dennis Rodman in there,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day,
Talk about teammates.
teammates.
Yeah, teammates,
The
yeah.
amount of talent that you played with on a team, I think Michael Jordan played with less talent.
Yeah.
Not to completely get off the subject, but you guys look really good up there in purple and gold. Yeah. I like how we all hooked that up in a celebration of life for our boy Kobe Bryant, man. Something else I wanted to ask you guys about, man, and this is a serious thing. The logo is the big talk right now.
Yeah.
The logo. For the people that don't know, this logo on my arm right here is Jerry West. Did we already talk about the logo?
Yeah, we did.
We talked about the logo.
Yeah, you should have.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But we didn't get
into
it, yeah.
The deeper part, which you're about to go into about
Oh,
Kobe.
okay. People now are saying that Kobe should become the new logo for the NBA. And I think you have a couple of mock logos, Raul. I want to get everybody's feeling on that. I feel like no disrespect at all to Jerry West. Like we said, he's been the logo for 50-something years. I just feel like, hip-hop changed the world. This new generation of sports changed the world. African Americans have come further along this part of the world. What's your feeling on that, Sid? Do you think that that's something will either be considered? Do you think it's something that's never going to change? Do you think it's something that's going to stay the same?
Man, now you're waking up what Woke said, right? Woke states that they would never concede have taken a white man off the logo and putting a black man as the logo. It's just my personal opinion. I would love for the league to prove me wrong. So for those same very reasons, outside of fan, not fan, I would definitely welcome seeing a black man on a logo for a sport that's dominated by African Americans.
Period.
To have anything, my opinion, has nothing to do with anything about Kobe Bryant, but purely when you start looking at the iconic images that kids see and people see, I think for kids to see that it's somebody that looks like them, breathes like them, moves like them, represented within a logo. For me, I would like to see that with anything to do about Kobe Bryant as a Laker, but just as a black man.
And nothing against Michael Jordan, so the people that know, because remember, they talked about this years ago, because Jordan, next to Nike, which is, Jordan is a derivative of Nike, that brand Jordan logo is definitely one of the most famous logos in the world.
Right.
And they had talked about that years ago.
Yeah.
Like, why did that not happen? Only reason I brought it up because I was like, okay, it didn't happen. The next guy in line, it would have felt like organically, whether Kobe had passed or not, it just felt like it would have been him. But for the fact that he was such a great guy and this unfortunate situation happened, you would think that would have kind of immortalized.
But didn't people say that not Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson too? Didn't they say a lot of people felt?
It wasn't the same as Jordan. Don't get me wrong, Magic Johnson
Well,
still
I feel like
great.
everybody has an opinion of who it should be,
absolutely.
is what I'm saying. So
Absolutely.
that's what makes it hard.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Everybody has an opinion, right? I would say if you had to talk about ambassadors of the game,
Yeah.
Michael Jordan and Kobe had a little bit more of an influence on a ambassador level.
Oh, I know. Everybody knows.
like
Michael
Magic
Jordan.
still
I think
one of.
Michael Jordan's shoes are still the best.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
bottom line.
No doubt. And Magic's still one of the greatest men of all time, greatest basketball players of all time, philanthropist. Man, I swear to God, if Magic ran for mayor tomorrow for LA, he'd win.
Yeah.
He's that big of a
he would.
But I just felt like as far as the finesse of the game, the sexiness of the game, the fly shit of the game, it would have been Jordan first. And because it wasn't Jordan, I felt like due to this situation, it would have been Kobe. So we'll see.
Yeah.
What's your feeling on that?
I'm with Sid, man. I believe old habits die hard in this situation. Put a brother on the NBA logo, man. I would love for this team that they're
What's your thoughts, Alex?
Yeah.
It was a wish. It was a hope.
Yeah.
But I kind of agree with you.
Yeah, you
Said,
have to, man.
At the end of the day, whenever I use the word they, we know who I'm talking about.
Right.
They still run it.
They run
Even
it.
though we 90% of the league, I almost feel like if it was 100% of the league,
Right.
they still run it. Because what happens is, if you allow that to happen, it's going to, well, damn it, what else are these black people going to do?
Right.
You know what I mean?
And at the same time, you have some people that does not forgive human error. And if you debate changing that, there's going to be somebody that's coming from somewhere, oh, boycott the NBA. Oh, never watch basketball again if you do
Trust
that.
me.
And above all things, they're not gonna mess up their money, bro.
Yeah, and they're gonna take I think they're gonna take the stance of copyrights. Yeah, I know they said my mic out, but we got a few minutes left, so we'll ride it out on the YouTube. Thanks for everybody posting on the YouTube. I know that the mic is out, but we're gonna keep pushing.
Are you seeing the people that are watching us?
Yeah, I'm watching.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody on YouTube that's watching us. We appreciate y'all watching us from day one. The show is getting bigger and better. We want you to like, we want you to subscribe, we want you to comment. Soon, real soon, we will be on all platforms, right, Betsy? Right, Raul? Right, Sid?
Yeah.
Right, Raul? Right,
sir.
Right now, we're on Apple, and you know what I mean? It's just gonna grow, and we really appreciate that. Today was just more of a serious show because, you know, it wasn't too much comedy today. We had to vent and talk about this tragedy that happened, and I actually feel better just talking about it because, unfortunately, this is kind of a getaway from watching the TV at home. Because it's just 24/7 and it's just
all day long.
It's so sad, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? What were you saying, Sid? I'm sorry to get off the
No,
subject.
it's all good. I was just saying that I think from if anything, they'll do a limited series logo or something for one season, but they'll say
To make some money in the
make some
fashion
money,
world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they'll say for copyright reasons, and it's too much of a labor-intense perspective to change the logo from all of their copyright laws, that they're gonna have to still keep that original logo.
Absolutely.
Well, let me ask you this though,
Okay.
because that, you know, and I'm just thinking as like a person, you know, whatever, who cares? Like just a person that's not like a crazy sports fan, but you know, it's really hard to pick a person because there have been so many good people.
Very true.
So
That's
it's just
true.
like if
But
they
you have to.
change shit, I know, but it's just like, how do you listen? If Michael Jordan died tomorrow, and I'm telling you, it would crush the world into like a million pieces.
Like this is crushing the world right
Right. So how do you pick that person? Because
get you.
it's just like hard to say because I mean,
There's been a lot of other
everybody.
great people. I hear what you're saying.
And
I hear
Michael
what you're
Jordan
saying.
is like, even I remember Michael Jordan as a kid being like,
Oh, of course.
It's just a different
to the
generation.
world. I know, but
It's
it's,
just a
just like,
different
it
generation,
is.
yeah.
But then you have Shaquille O'Neal was, I mean,
Oh
come
no, we
on.
can go on and on. Great people that did great things
So
in the
it's
game.
just hard.
Yeah.
It's hard, and I
Yeah.
feel like it's harder to pick to change a logo to one person when so many amazing players.
Oh, absolutely. So
Yeah,
yes,
I don't know how you do it.
It's a super hard thing, but you gotta go. The front runners are the guys that had influence on the culture outside of the floor, outside of the field. Like in this case, I hate to use the word, but shoes is still considered fashion, right?
Yeah.
This dude's bigger than shooting jump shots. This dude, people like Kobe, people like LeBron, they get $300, $400, $500 million off the court for selling these shoes.
Yeah.
No, I
You
get
know what I'm
it.
saying? So
but then
for
how do
people
you
like that,
pick
it's
between
bigger.
LeBron and Kobe? Like, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, how do you say
It's
it should
timing.
go to Kobe? Okay, but then like
Yeah.
in 10 or 2 years, if something
Yeah.
happens to someone else who's the
Very
great,
true.
it's just hard.
Yeah, it is very.
I think it's hard to say a person's name because
Yeah.
there are so many, it's unfortunate that
Yeah.
that this man is gone. And like I said, because you know, there was where he was training and doing rehab, there was a handicapped kid that went every day, and they did not know him because they did not really watch basketball. The child was in a wheelchair, and Kobe lifted the wheelchair and helped the mother carry the child down, gave the family money. She got on the radio and told this story of he went and like changed people's lives.
Yeah.
So, you know, that is why the loss is one of the saddest things because
absolutely.
of people don't realize that someone like this went and turned someone's terrible sadness
absolutely.
into, you know, made a blessing out of their life.
And we don't have a lot of time,
Yeah.
and I tried to hit, and we actually hit a lot, almost literally everything,
Yeah.
believe it or not. What he was about to do for women's basketball, for the fact that he had a daughter that he was so close to and teaching her the game with the Mamba Academy, and even down to the other people on that plane that lost their lives. You know, he was really, I think this little girl, Gigi, rest in peace, was going to be a superstar. Think about it.
Yeah.
She had the best teacher on the planet. Not only was he the best teacher on the basketball floor, he was a great father that was in her life. That influences people like myself, people like Savvy that have daughters. He was just like a subliminal example, a great example of being in their life, not just living it and not talking it, actually being it. And he involved them in everything. And that's what it's all about, man. I just admire that, man. I admire it so much. And we're going to miss him. He's going to be gone, but he's never going to be forgotten. You know, he's going to forever be embedded in this city. Those jerseys are going to always be hanging from the rafters. I think his jersey is going to sell forever and ever and ever and ever. You know, his children that are here, they're going to be able to say, you know, that was my daddy. You know what I mean? So, again, our hearts go out to that. Just one other thing I want to say, man, we didn't bring it up, but I had to get it in. The Oscar, you guys. This man hadn't even been out of basketball 1 year, 2 years, and got an Oscar. Like, this dude was just a winner in anything and everything he did. I swear to God, I feel like if this man wanted to run for president in 2024, he could fuck around and win and did not know a damn thing about politics.
Right.
Because he was that loved. You know what I mean?
And he's a hard worker. I mean,
he's a hard worker.
He
It's
worked
that
that
work.
hard to get
It's
to
that
the
work.
top. I mean, yeah, it's the work ethic
It's
for
the
sure.
work.
Speaking of hard work,
Incredible.
this week, this kind of unfortunately outshined the light of the Super Bowl. Super Bowl is Sunday, you guys. But even at the press conference at the Super Bowl, the media is asking football players basketball questions. And all the NFL right now, all these dudes in the NFL, they all looked up to Kobe as if they were as if they were basketball players. Because guess what? Every dude in the NFL, they wore his shoes too.
Yeah.
You think about it. Everybody in the NFL right now, this Super Bowl is coming up Sunday between the 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. I think it's safe to say every single player on the roster is between the ages of 21 and 35.
Yeah.
Guess what that means?
What?
Every single one of those dudes grew up on Kobe Bryant. They've been wearing their shoes. Remember, football players wear cleats. So they can't wear their shoes to the club. They can't wear their shoes going to the mall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So when they were done, they were rocking Kobe's, obviously George too, but this young generation, Tyrone Matthews, the was quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, Mahomes and Garoppolo and Richard Sherman, man, they were wearing Kobe's. You know what I mean? So I just want to say, man, this was very therapeutic. I needed this. I want to thank you guys so much. I want to thank the man upstairs. And just, you got to hug, kiss, and love the people in your lives. Because tomorrow is not promised to any of us. You got to say your prayers every night and every morning. Just thank God for waking you up this morning and blessing you to continue. As they say, and this too shall pass. And life goes on. We're never going to forget you, Kobe. I know I'm not. And I know nobody else is here. God blessed you with an amazing life, brother. And you changed a lot of people's lives. And it's gonna be sad without you, but we have to stay strong. The city's gonna come out. I know we're gonna celebrate his life when the funeral happens. It'll probably have to be the Coliseum because I feel like the Staples Center ain't big enough. I feel like that man had so much love. Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. Rest in peace, Michael Jackson. Death is a horrible thing, but this guy was bigger than that place, to be honest. And we're gonna see that. So you guys, we appreciate you guys hanging in there with us all day. Savvy Music, let them know where they can find you, man, and get some joy and laughter when you see this man's page. You'll get joy and laughter when you see my page. You'll get joy and laughter when you see this woman's page.
Yeah.
You'll get knowledge and knowing everything about everything.
Yeah.
When you go to Said's page, you'll watch his page and you'll learn how to be a better person.
Word.
Or
You know
you'll just
what I mean?
learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
How
I
can
wanna,
we find you,
yeah,
Savvy?
I'm at Instagram as Savvy Amusing, and I want to give all of my followers a shout out, especially everybody that's been DMing me, telling me to keep the jokes up. You know, it's therapeutic for them, and they understand that I'm depleted and I'm hurt by the situation. But you know, the laughs make more people than just myself feel better. So all y'all that's motivating me to keep the jokes cracking, I appreciate it. But I'm Savvy Amusing on Instagram.
And to back him up, I have a hashtag, and the hashtag is laughter is healing. It truly is. We're not doctors or lawyers as comedians, but sometimes I don't think we even realize the gift that God gave us to make other people laugh. And I just got to say this real quick, even if it's going a little over. Sunday night was really hard for me. Kobe passed away Sunday morning. I ended up having 2 sold-out shows at the Laugh Factory, Chocolate Sunday. I was nervous because I was like, I didn't think anybody was going to show up, first of all. And if they did show up, I didn't think they were going to want to laugh.
Yeah.
Right? When I tell you it turned out being 2 of the best sets that I've had in years. When I tell you the electricity in the room was, I felt like I was shooting my next 1-hour special. And the Netflix people were out there actually to see me that night too. So God really blessed me with great sets that night. But man, it kind of felt good to make other people laugh. It kind of felt good for me to get on stage and kind of not think about that situation and just go up there and do what I do. You know, when Kobe would come up to me, he would always say, "You a funny motherfucker." He would always say that to me. "You a funny motherfucker." And I was never really close to him, but he just always said, "You a funny motherfucker." So that's what I take, and I will always remember that from him saying that. So, yeah. Savvy, Said, where can they find you at?
You guys can check me out at Said Brass, Said with the S, EDBRASS. Man, Alex took exactly what I was about to say. That's why I kind of chuckled a little bit. Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
Man, I was gonna say, you know, shouts out to you, man. I know this has been the hardest on you in this process, and I was gonna say, man, the show that you did on Sunday at Chocolate Sundays was like off the rip, man. I know sometimes kind of hard to talk about things in first person, which you know you're speaking from, but as a spectator, to sit back and like watch the crowd and watch the energy, and you know, even me seeing so many performances, knowing the jokes before you know to make them, but then still seeing them done with repetitive nature, but still getting, you know, great applause, and in this case, probably even bigger applauses. People actually making requests for you to make the jokes. Sometimes it's, you know, we get off track a little bit, and then we get just that extra juice of validation, like, yeah, man, this is like gonna take me into the next gear. So I guess kind of in the same vein of how I began the show, I definitely like to end it in the same, you know, vein of taking that same energy and using it for, you know, to channel positive energy and positive flow to take all our lives and be better people in whatever aspect that we can take away from it and build from it. So hopefully, brother, you can build from it for your great talent and gift that, you know, the Most High has given you.
Thank you, Said. I appreciate that, man. Coming from a friend like you, I really appreciate that, man. It makes me feel good, man. Sometimes it just feels good to know that people acknowledge certain things. That's all you can ask for.
No doubt.
That's all you can ask for. I appreciate you. Betsy Cox, where can we find you at?
You can find me on Instagram, Blingin' Betsy Comedy.
And that's it, you guys. Love y'all. My name is Alex Thomas. Check out my Instagram at FunnyMan Alex Thomas. The hashtag is The Funny Don't Stop, and the name of this show is The Funny Don't Stop Show.
Kobe.
Kobe. We did it, you guys.